Bruce Lee is teaching a room full of 500 students when an arrogant kung fu master walks through the door and calls him a fraud. What Bruce does in the next 8 seconds doesn't just silence the room, it creates a moment that gets retold in martial arts schools for the next 50 years. Seattle, Washington, March 1967. The Jun Fan Gung Fu Academy sits on the second floor of a brick building in the University District, corner of 4th Avenue and Pike Street. You reach it by climbing a narrow wooden staircase that creaks with every step. At the top, a simple door with a hand-painted sign, black letters on white wood, Jun Fan Gung Fu. No fancy graphics, no mystical dragons, just the name. That's all it needs. It's 3 in the afternoon on a Saturday. Outside, the spring rain hammers against the windows. That Seattle rain that doesn't fall so much as hang in the air like mist with weight. The kind that soaks through jackets and chills you to the bone. Inside, 500 people are packed into a space built for 200 students, sitting cross-legged on the hardwood floor. Some standing against the walls, some squeezed into the doorway just trying to see, some sitting on the window ledges, every square foot of space occupied by a body. The air is thick with humidity from wet clothes and breathing bodies, thick with sweat and tension and the sharp medicinal smell of liniment oil that Bruce uses on his knuckles. The windows fog from the heat of packed humanity. Someone opened 2 windows, but it barely helps. The room is a furnace. Bruce Lee stands at the front of the room, wearing simple black training pants and a white t-shirt, both soaked through with sweat. Sweat. No shoes. He trains barefoot because shoes lie to your feet about balance and connection to the ground. He's 26 years old, 5'7", 135 pounds, lean muscle wrapped tight over frame. Not big, definitely not big by traditional martial arts master standards. Doesn't look like much standing still. Looks like a college student. Looks like someone you'd pass on the street without noticing. But then he moves and everything changes. When Bruce Lee moves, the air itself seems to bend around him. This is his open seminar, the one he holds twice a year, where anyone can come and watch him teach, where a traditional martial artist can see what he calls his style of no style, where skeptics can come and judge for themselves whether this Chinese immigrant who claims to be revolutionizing martial arts is real or just another con man selling Eastern mysticism to gullible Westerners. The room is split. Half his devoted students who've been training with him for months or years. Half curious outsiders, traditionalists, skeptics, people who've heard the rumors and want to see if Bruce Lee is everything they say he is. Bruce is 40 minutes into a demonstration. He's showing a principle he calls economy of motion, explaining that traditional kung fu wastes movement. Too many forms, too many flowery techniques that look beautiful but don't work in real combat. He's demonstrating on Jesse Glover, his first American student, a black man built like a truck who Bruce trusts completely. Bruce shows how a traditional horse stance telegraphs your intentions, how a crane stance leaves you vulnerable, how the fancy hand movements of classical kung fu give your opponent all the time in the world to counter. The students watch in fascination. Some are nodding, some are taking notes. Some look uncomfortable because Bruce is systematically dismantling everything their previous teachers taught them. But Bruce doesn't care about comfort. He cares about truth. He cares about what works in a real fight when someone is actually trying to hurt you. Not what looks good in a demonstration, not what ancient masters did 300 years ago. What works now, today, in the street. Then the door opens hard. The sound cuts through Bruce's explanation like a knife. Everyone turns. A man walks in, late 30s, maybe 40, Chinese, wearing a traditional black silk kung fu uniform, the expensive kind with gold embroidery on the chest, dragon patterns on the shoulders, the kind that costs $300 and announces to everyone that you take this very seriously. His hair is pulled back in a traditional queue, face hard as stone, eyes scanning the room with pure contempt. He walks straight down the center aisle. Students scramble out of his way. He doesn't acknowledge them, doesn't look at them, just walks with this deliberate arrogance toward the front of the room, toward Bruce. Every step purposeful, every movement designed to command attention, to dominate the space, to announce that someone important has arrived and everyone should pay attention. Bruce stops teaching, watches this man approach, doesn't say anything, just waits. The room goes silent, 500 people holding their breath. Jesse Glover steps to the side, giving space, sensing something is about to happen. The man stops 10 feet from Bruce, close enough to be confrontational, far enough to maintain some formality. He looks Bruce up and down slowly, taking in the simple clothes, the bare feet, the lack of traditional martial arts regalia. His lip curls with disgust. Then he speaks. His voice carries through the entire room, loud, sharp, designed to be heard. He speaks in Cantonese first, then switches to heavily accented English so everyone understands. His message is simple and devastating. Bruce Lee is a fraud, a charlatan, a disgrace to Chinese martial arts. He teaches bastardized techniques to white people and black people who have no business learning sacred Chinese fighting systems. He disrespects tradition, disrespects the old masters, disrespects everything Kung Fu stands for. He is not a real martial artist. He is a performer, an actor playing pretend. And worst of all, he charges money to teach watered-down garbage to Americans who don't deserve to learn real Kung Fu. The room explodes, not with sound, but with tension. You can feel it like electricity. 500 people stopped breathing. Bruce's students look angry, ready to defend their teacher. The outsiders look fascinated. This is what they came for. Drama, confrontation, proof one way or another. Jesse Glover's fists clench, but he doesn't move because Bruce hasn't moved. And when Bruce doesn't move, everyone else freezes. Bruce lets the words hang in the air, lets them settle, lets everyone hear them and process them and feel them. Then he asks one question in Cantonese, calm, quiet, almost polite. What is your name? The man straightens, announces himself as Master Chen's Wax, direct lineage from the Shaolin Temple, 40 years of training, master of 5 traditional styles, guardian of authentic Chinese martial arts. He studied under masters whose names Bruce wouldn't dare speak aloud, masters who would be ashamed to see what Bruce has done, how he has prostituted their sacred art. Bruce nods slowly, asks another question. Why are you here? Timai Yar Chen's face twists with contempt. He is here to expose Bruce Lee as a fraud, to challenge him publicly, to prove that traditional Kung Fu is superior to Bruce's made-up nonsense, to show these 500 deluded followers that they are wasting their time and money on a con artist. He is here to shut down this circus before more damage is done. Bruce asks one more question. You want to fight me? Master Chen doesn't hesitate. Yes, right now, in front of everyone. No rules. Traditional challenge. First to submit or first blood. The old way. The way real martial artists settle disputes. Not with words, with action. And when Bruce loses, when Master Chen exposes him, Bruce will close his school, will stop teaching, will apologize to every legitimate Kung Fu master he has disrespected, will admit that he is nothing but a fake. The room is dead silent. This is it. This is the moment. 500 people watching, waiting. Bruce could refuse, could call security, could de-escalate, could do a dozen things that would avoid physical confrontation, but everyone in that room knows he won't, because Bruce Lee doesn't back down, ever, not from anyone, not for anything. Bruce takes one step forward. His bare feet make no sound on the hardwood floor. He says, "Okay," in English, then repeats it in Cantonese. "Okay, we fight." But not to first blood, not to submission. Just one exchange, one technique. I will show you one thing. If you can defend it, I close my school. If you cannot defend it, you leave and never come back. Master Chen laughs. One technique? He has trained for 40 years. He can defend against anything. Bruce is making this too easy. Master Chen agrees. One exchange, one technique. When he defends it effortlessly, Bruce Lee's reputation dies today. Bruce tells everyone to move back, clear space.
The students scramble, pushing against the walls, creating a circle 20 feet in diameter. Empty hardwood floor, just Bruce and Master Chen. 500 witnesses. Master Chen removes his expensive silk jacket, hands it to someone without looking. Underneath, he wears a black sleeveless shirt. His arms are thick, muscular, covered in scars from decades of hard training. Real training. Traditional training. Training that Bruce's students, with their 6 months of weekend classes, couldn't possibly understand. He drops into a perfect horse stance. Feet wide, knees bent, hands up in a classical crane position. Textbook form, museum-quality technique, exactly what you'd see in a kung fu manual from the Ming Dynasty. Bruce doesn't take a stance, just stands normally, feet shoulder-width apart, hands relaxed at his sides, breathing normal, face calm. He looks like he's waiting for a bus, not preparing to fight a master with 40 years of experience. This infuriates Master Chen even more. The disrespect, the arrogance, the complete lack of traditional form or respect for the old ways. It proves everything he said. Bruce Lee doesn't understand real martial arts. Bruce tells Master Chen the technique he will use. He will throw one punch, a straight lead to the solar plexus. Master Chen can defend however he wants, any block, any counter, any movement from any traditional style. 40 years of knowledge, 5 styles worth of techniques, all available. Just stop, one punch. Master Chen almost laughs out loud. A straight punch? That's it? That's Bruce Lee's revolutionary technique? A basic strike that every beginner learns in week 1? This is too easy. This is insulting. But fine, let Bruce embarrass himself. Let everyone see that traditional kung fu can easily handle whatever bastardized technique Bruce throws. Master Chen sets his stance. Perfect form, hands up, ready, center of gravity low, balanced, immovable. He has defended against thousands of punches in his 40 years. This will be no different. He will block it, counter it, and then everyone will see, everyone will know. Bruce Lee is nothing special. Bruce asks if Master Chen is ready. Master Chen nods. Bruce takes half a step forward. His right foot slides forward 6 inches. Nothing else moves, just that half step. Then it happens. Bruce's fist moves, doesn't chamber, doesn't pull back, doesn't telegraph, just suddenly exists 3 feet forward, traveling at a speed Master Chen's brain can't process. It's not a punch in the traditional sense. It's an explosion, a transfer of energy that starts in Bruce's legs, travels through his hips, his core, his shoulder, and exits through his fist in one continuous whip-crack motion. The sound it makes when it connects is wet and sharp, like a mallet hitting a side of beef. The fist lands exactly where Bruce said it would, solar plexus dead center. Master Chen's crane block never moves. His hands stay frozen in perfect form 6 inches away from where they needed to be. His brain never sent the signal. Too fast, too direct, too economical. No wasted motion, no telegraphing, no warning. Just Bruce Lee's fist appearing in Master Chen's torso like it teleported there. Master Chen's eyes go wide. His mouth opens. No sound comes out, just air. All the air in his lungs exiting at once. His perfect horse stance collapses. His knees buckle. He stumbles backward 3 steps, 4. His hands drop to his stomach. He doubles over, gasps, tries to breathe, can't. The solar plexus strike paralyzes the diaphragm, shuts down breathing temporarily. Master Chen drops to one knee, still trying to pull air into lungs that won't work. His face goes from red to purple. Panic sets in. He's suffocating, can't breathe, can't speak, can't do anything except kneel there in front of 500 people, desperately trying to remember how to breathe. The entire sequence takes 8 seconds, from the moment Bruce moved to the moment Master Chen drops to his knee.
8 seconds to completely dismantle 40 years of traditional training. 8 seconds to prove every word Bruce said about economy of motion. 8 seconds to validate everything Bruce teaches. 8 seconds that change Master Chen's entire understanding of martial arts. The room stays silent. Nobody moves. Nobody speaks. They just witnessed something impossible. Watched a man who claimed 40 years of mastery get shut down by a single punch from a 26-year-old who didn't even take a traditional stance. Watched technique and speed and understanding beat tradition and pride and arrogance. Watch the old way lose to the new way in the most definitive demonstration possible. Bruce doesn't celebrate, doesn't gloat, doesn't smile or pose or claim victory. He just walks over to Master Chen, kneels down next to him, puts a hand on his back, speaks quietly in Cantonese, tells him to relax, tells him breathing will come back, tells him it's okay. The strike was controlled, no permanent damage, just temporary paralysis. Master Chen's diaphragm will reset in 30 seconds. Just wait, just breathe. Bruce stays there with his hand on Master Chen's back, waiting, calm, patient, like he's helping a student, not an enemy, not a challenger, a student. Slowly, Master Chen's breathing comes back, ragged at first, then deeper, then normal. He stays on his knee, head down, shaking, not from pain, from shock, from the realization of what just happened, from understanding how completely wrong he was about Bruce, about technique, about what matters in real combat. 40 years of training didn't prepare him for 8 seconds of reality. Bruce helps him stand. Master Chen can barely look at him. The shame is overwhelming. He came here to expose a fraud, to defend tradition, to prove his superiority. Instead, he got destroyed in front of 500 people by the exact technique Bruce announced beforehand, a technique Master Chen swore he could easily defend. His pride is shattered. His reputation is ruined. Everything he believed about himself and his training just got proven wrong in the most public way possible. But then Bruce does something Master Chen never expects. Bruce bows to him, a formal, traditional bow, the kind you give to a respected master, the kind that shows honor and reverence. Master Chen stares in confusion. Bruce explains in Cantonese, loud enough for the Chinese speakers in the room to hear, but quiet enough to maintain some privacy. He says Master Chen's stance was perfect, his form was textbook, his 40 years of training are visible in every movement. Bruce doesn't disrespect that training, doesn't dismiss those decades of dedication. What Bruce disagrees with is not the training itself, but the assumption that traditional form equals combat effectiveness. Those are two different things. Master Chen is a master of traditional form, absolutely, no question. But form is not fighting. Fighting is about what works when someone is trying to hurt you. And what works is economy, speed, directness, efficiency. Not because tradition is bad, but because tradition wasn't designed for modern combat. It was designed for a different time, a different context, a different purpose. Bruce tells Master Chen he is welcome to stay, to watch the rest of the seminar, to learn if he wants, to ask questions, to challenge assumptions. Bruce didn't humiliate Master Chen to destroy him. He did it to teach him, to show him there's another way, a better way, a way that respects tradition while moving beyond it. Master Chen can hold on to his pride and leave in shame, or he can let go of his pride and stay to learn. The choice is his.
Master Chen stands there for a long moment, 500 people watching, waiting to see what he does. His expensive silk jacket is still crumpled on the floor where someone dropped it. His reputation is destroyed. His challenge is lost. His whole world view just got dismantled in 8 seconds. He could leave, should leave, save whatever face he has left. But then he looks at Bruce, really looks at him, sees not arrogance, not mockery, just a teacher offering knowledge, just a martial artist showing respect to another martial artist, despite everything. Master Chen picks up his jacket, walks to the back of the room, sits down against the wall, cross-legged, hands on his knees, and stays. For the next 2 hours he watches Bruce teach, watches him demonstrate, watches him explain economy of motion and broken rhythm and the principle of intercepting, watches everything he came here to mock and dismiss. And something shifts inside him, something cracks open, something that's been closed for 40 years. 3 weeks later, Master Chen shows up to Bruce's regular Thursday class, doesn't announce himself, just walks in quietly, bows to Bruce, asks if he can train. Bruce says yes. Master Chen trains with Bruce for the next 3 years, never says much, never brags about his 40 years of training, just shows up, works, learns, lets go of tradition, not because tradition is worthless, but because holding on to it was preventing him from growing. By 1970, Master Chen becomes one of Bruce's assistant instructors, teaching his own students the principles he once dismissed as fraud, teaching them that real mastery is not about defending tradition, it's about discovering truth. Years later, a reporter asks Master Chen about that day, about the challenge, about the 8 seconds that changed everything. Master Chen thinks for a long time, then says, Bruce Lee didn't beat him with a punch. Bruce Lee beat him with humility, with respect, with the grace to help him up after knocking him down, with the wisdom to teach instead of humiliate. Master Chen came to that room to prove he was superior. He left that room knowing he was a beginner, and that realization saved his martial arts, saved his understanding, saved him. Bruce Lee built a philosophy on one principle: absorb what is useful, reject what is useless, add what is specifically your own. But that day, he taught something else, that breaking someone's pride is easy, building someone back up takes real strength, that winning a fight means nothing if you destroy the person you fought, that true mastery is not about proving you're better, it's about making everyone around you better. The story spreads through the martial arts community, gets retold in dojos and kuns across America, gets embellished and exaggerated and turned into legend. But the core stays true. The day an arrogant master challenged Bruce Lee in front of 500 people. The day 8 seconds changed a 40-year career. The day tradition met evolution, and instead of destroying each other, they became stronger together. Bruce Lee never talked about that fight publicly, never bragged about it, never used it to promote himself. When students asked, he would say only this: fighting is easy. Any idiot can throw a punch. Teaching is hard. Making someone want to learn after you've beaten them, that's the real challenge. That's where martial arts becomes art instead of violence. That's the difference between winning a fight and changing a life.
Who in your life is Master Chen right now? Who's holding on to pride so hard they can't see truth? And more importantly, when you win, when you prove your point, when you're right and they're wrong, what do you do next? Do you humiliate or do you teach? Do you destroy or do you build? Because 8 seconds can win a fight, but what you do in the next 8 minutes determines whether you're just strong or whether you're a master. That's what Bruce Lee taught on a rainy Saturday in Seattle. Not with philosophy, not with words, with 8 seconds of action and 2 hours of grace. The punch proved he was right. The bow proved he was wise. And 50 years later, we're still learning from him.